Back on Hittin Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. YouTube.com is the place to go. Locked On Sports Atlanta is what you put in the search browser. Hitting that subscribe button is what you do when you get there. Leave us a comment. Of course, we're free and available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify and Odyssey. Leave us a 5-star review there and give me a follow on my personal Twitter page at JMCH316. So we get ready for Falcons football coming up tomorrow. We'll take a little bit more look at this game tomorrow as well. But here are the things tonight as the Falcons get ready to take on the Detroit Lions, preseason game number 1 up in Detroit tomorrow night. Don't forget, 6 o'clock kick on the game. So if you're trying to figure out, what time, 6 o'clock kick, early kick. All right. So here are the things that I'm looking for in tomorrow night's game. Okay. First thing is I want to see competent offensive line play. I want to see our guys be able to block, do some of the basics, not whiff, right? Now, again, we talked about that the Lions and the Falcons both are going to play their starters for about a quarter. So you're going to see a heavy rotation of guys in this first, just like you would any other preseason NFL game, right? But you're going to see a heavy rotation of guys. But I need competent offensive line play. I need them to do the basics, not get my quarterback killed, not do something dumb, okay? Open up some holes for the running game, what have you, and be competent to make me feel a little bit better about what direction the offensive line is headed. Because, again, I think it's going to be Matthews, Wilkinson, Dahlman, Lindstrom, McGarry is what that 5 guys are going to be that they trot on the field tomorrow night. Now, the other thing, too, that I need to see is I want to see them start to establish some kind of identity with their run game. And I'm not so much worried about the name on the back of the jersey, about who's toting the rock. What I'm interested in is establishing an offensive philosophy about what we want to do and being a running team. Because, look, this has been one of the worst rushing teams in the league over the last handful of years. Part of that is they don't really have a great running back group. Part of it is they have an awful offensive line. Part of it is you have a quarterback who's thrown for 57,000 yards in the league. So you're a pass-first offense. But I've always said, the philosophy of the Falcons will never change as long as Matt Ryan is the quarterback. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. It's just when you have a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback hucking the rock around back there, you're going to be a pass-first team. And you got Julio and Ridley and Sanu and Roddy and all the guys that they've had over the years, right? You're always going to be a pass-first offense, okay? Even though some people try to sell me that. Anyway, we won't get into that discussion. But anyway, so I want to see that little bit of a shift in offense philosophy to start dedicating themselves to running the football and being committed to it and trying to find ways to establish our running game, because that's going to have to be the thing that we start to become as a more effective running team. And when I say effective running team, I'm not talking about you got to run it for X amount of yards per game, but you have to dedicate the number of attempts to it. You have to be able to average more than 4 yards per carry. You have to be able to get short yardage running plays, right? 3rd and 2 has to be line up, run it forward at somebody. Not 3rd and 2, shotgun, 5 wide, empty backfield, huck it around on 3rd and 2. Because we've done that a lot over the years, right? There's been plenty of those times when 3rd and 2 meant shotgun, empty backfield, 5 wide, huck it around, right? Instead of just line up and let's go north and south and pick up that 2 yards. So that's the other part, running the football effectively. And listen, one thing about preseason is they're going to get into some specific down and distance things that they want to evaluate and look at, and being able to, obviously, when you get down in the red zone and you get down deep, punching it in the end zone, not settling for field goals. 1st and goal from the 5 should be in 2 or 3 plays. You're in the end zone, right? Not because I have to come up with some gimmick pass play, but because I go whoop, 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 and I bang it right in between the tackles and guards, and here we go, and we score a touchdown out of it. So I got to see competent offensive line play. I've got to also see our running game start to have some identity to it, some playing personality in our offense. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about this here in just a second, but first, let me talk about my friends over at Coffeeam, coffeeam.com. I'm drinking their coffee right now. It's a big day here over at the Chuckery household. I just finished up the last batch of the organic coffee. And look, I love these folks. They're right here in the state of Georgia, up in Canton, the best small batch coffee roaster in America. Coffeeam.com is the place to go. You like organic, you like K-Cups, you like flavored coffee, you like this, beep, bada, boop. You got everything available to you at coffeeam.com. I drink multiple cups of this stuff every single morning. I love it. You know, I'm a coffee junkie, and these folks are outstanding. They have such a wide selection of all different types of coffees. They have teas. They have gift sets available. So here's what we got going on. I got a special deal for you, okay? So I want you to go to coffeeam.com/locked on. Coffeeam.com/locked on, LOCKEDON. Go there today. Look through their menu, coffees, teas, gift sets. Put together that first order, okay? Doesn't matter what it is. You got some coffee here, a little bit of tea, a mug, beat bada boop, okay? We got all that going on. So we put together that first order. Then when you get to checkout, use the coupon code LOCKED ON, LOCKEDON, LOCKED ON. Use that coupon code at checkout. You're going to get 15% off that first order, whatever it is. You got some coffee, you grab some tea, you grab the mug, beep, bada, boop, right? You grab a little bit of this, a little bit of that, right? 15% off that first order simply by using the coupon code LOCKED ON at checkout, LOCKEDON. I love these folks. These folks are awesome. I love trying out their new coffees. So listen, head to coffeeam.com today and use that coupon code LOCKED ON to get 15% off of your first order. Now, the other thing that I want to see in this Falcons game tomorrow night is I'm not so much worried about what the sack total is. We'll worry and get into that a little bit later here. But I need to see them coming up with a way to generate pass rush, whether that's with your front guys, whether that's I got to blitz, whether that's I got to be a little bit creative, whether I got to do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know, I got to see some form of pass rush out of this team. I don't care how you get there. You know, at the end of the day, what matters is the quarterback on the ground looking out of his ear hole when he gets up, okay? And again, this first preseason game, I'm not so much worried about how many sacks that we get, but are we generating any kind of consistent pass rush? Are we getting in the backfield and making the quarterback's life difficult? We'll figure out how to wrap up and put them on the ground and all that kind of stuff as we move through this process. But initially, I've got to see something that tells me about, okay, that looks different about getting the quarterback. That commitment, that drive, and the ability. And I also want to see some guys win some one-on-ones, whether it's your offensive line, your defensive line, your cornerbacks, your safeties, your wide receivers, your running backs, your tight ends. I want to see some of our guys win some one-on-ones. I want to feel like that we have some guys like, okay, that guy might be a matchup problem. Okay, that guy looks like he can handle it on his own. Okay, that guy can take on this defender. Okay, that guy can go out there and block somebody, right? I want to see us win some one-on-one battle. I don't care what position. Again, I don't care what your number is on your jersey. I don't care what position you play. I don't care what the name says on the back of your jersey. I want to see an A.J. Terrell or whoever make a play. I want to see a tight end make a cut, move, go, and grab a pass. I want to see a wide receiver beat a guy one-on-one. I want to see a running back juke somebody out of their cleats. I want to see some one-on-ones that this team wins. Because we always talk about, look, the reason the Falcons are in the position that they're in is because their lack of drafting high-caliber talent has put them in this. It ain't cap space and all this other nonsense that anybody gives you that stuff, just like dismiss them. Tell them talk to the hand, okay? They're in this position because they haven't drafted well and they haven't developed talent. They have not. There's a reason why the roster is ranked as low that it is. So I want to see us win some battles. So my three key points that I want to see. One is offensive line look competent. Well, maybe 4 points. Let's talk about it like that. Offensive line look competent, do some positive things. Number 2, establish some identity in the running game. Okay, show some commitment. Show me what your establishment is of that. 3, generate some consistent pass rush. And 4, win me some one-on-one battles in this game. Show me that our roster is capable of winning some of those battles, because that's a lot of what the NFL is. Talk to my buddy Hugh Douglas. There are times when you got to just win it one-on-one. So we'll talk more about the game coming up tomorrow, but excited for preseason game number 1 with the Falcons as they head up to Detroit today to take on the Lions. All right, when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about some Falcons football here. It's time to spend some cap space. Let's spend some dough, some bread, some do-re-mi. It's all next. Hitting Hard with Jon Chuckery, Locked on Sports Atlanta.